Yeah, I've also been told by certain people, like my mate Abs, that I'm the Pep Guardiola of FM, all because I beat him and like over the years I played as Arsenal and I made Arsenal the best team in Europe.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 24 of the 2D Sportsbar. Last time we was on, we predicted the quarterfinals, semi-finals and the final of the European Championships. We were completely wrong on each one. I think you were probably the closest, George, maybe. I think we both had a team in the final that we predicted, but yeah, none of us got it correct at all, way off. But yeah, England obviously lost in the final. We'll go through that in a bit. And Southgate has resigned. And George has some information on that. Is it you're potentially putting your name in the hat? Is that right, George?
Yeah, just saw a few days ago that there was a job advert on the actual careers.thefa.com, and actually I've got it on as an advert for it. Obviously, with I was tempted to put my resume in there after my luxurious, prestigious football manager career history. Like I've won a few times with England, a few things, so
Yeah, you got wealth experience of your own football manager.
yeah. I've also been told by certain people, like my mate Abs, that I'm the Pep Guardiola of FM, all because I beat him and like over the years I played as Arsenal and I made Arsenal the best team in Europe by a well, even in the world. And then I left them.
Playing it as well, actually, at the moment. Last couple of days I've been back on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it on the Switch.
Oh right, okay. I was gonna say if you got it on Xbox, I would have done the online mode with you.
Yeah, I've seen you can do an online mode. But yeah, there's some credentials, isn't there, for this job advert? I think one of them says about Premier League experience we need. So have you got that, George? Good on Football Manager, haven't you?
Football Manager definitely got Premier League experience. Like real holder UEFA Pro license. Well, I'm just gonna say this now. Remember that Belgium manager, Will Still?
Yeah.
He was getting fined every game because he didn't have a pro license as a manager.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the club were getting fined €22,000 a game. And look how well they were doing at one point. But now he's obviously left them. But hey, pay the fine, take it out of my wages. That's what I'm saying. Just hire me.
I was just reading the candidate description here. It's like, yeah, we'll hold a UEFA Pro license, significant experience of English football with a strong track record, delivering results in the Premier League, an exceptional leader, experience in success. Go on, mate.
Sounds like they're going after Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
Well, already how, but...
Or Thomas Tuchel.
Oh, yeah. Didn't even think of that one.
Well, he's a knockout specialist in tournaments.
Yeah, true. Be an interesting one. But yeah, let's go back to the games that we obviously left off at the quarters. So the semi-finals was Spain and France. Spain winning 2-1. France and Mbappe went home at that stage. I think was it 2 great goals from Spain. It was a man of the match display by Olmo, was it, in the midfield?
Yeah, Olmo
was brilliant.
And Yamal getting the great curling effort goal.
Yeah, that goal was sensational.
Yeah.
Think about Spain's depth. Dani Olmo came in for an injured Pedri. He wasn't going to be a starter in that tournament. He's come in for someone. And he's joint top goal scorer. I think he was top for assists, I'm not sure. But what an impact. Just shows the depth that Spain have got.
Yeah. And players turning up, which England didn't do. We'll get on to them. obviously the French go home. I think they scored 2 goals in open play, or maybe 1 goal in open play in the whole tournament. Do you think it was obviously a very defensive display throughout the tournament from the French? Deschamps saying at one stage, "If you're bored, don't watch us," which is quite an odd statement to say. What did you overall think of their performance at the Euros?
Worse than us.
Mm.
Like goal wise, they didn't really score. I think their top goal scorer was own goals.
Crazy, isn't it?
Mbappe scored a penalty. Whoop-de-doo. I feel like France overall were just very, very. It's like as if they didn't care. At the same time, the only person I actually did like in the French team even was Theo Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it, really. And N'Golo Kante.
Yeah, Kante back. Linked with West Ham as well.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go. He won't get the money that he's getting from
Do you think
Saudi.
he's money orientated though? I heard he goes around in Mini Cooper.
Yeah, but he's also very family orientated and taking money back to his hometown.
Mm. Yeah, it'd be an
A lot of-
interesting one to keep an eye on, that one.
Yeah,
Well, I think the French, their tournament is very much like the English tournament, that they've got a squad full of amazing players, and they haven't delivered. And I feel like the frustrations are exactly the same as what the English fans have got. Are we playing too pragmatic and too defensive, and not trusting and relying on the talent, or is that how you win tournament football? Because I'm not sure how defensive Spain felt against us.
I just think there was no identity, like similar to what France and England had. We had no proper identity. All we were relying on was a spark of brilliance from individual personnel, and that is our issue. Where Spain had a system which worked.
Yeah, there was definitely.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I agree. I think that Southgate at one point was picking players due to which club they played for. I still don't understand why Foden and Bellingham and Kane started as was it all of the games?
Yeah, I think they did.
Because the difference Cole Palmer made when he come on.
not once but twice.
Yeah, and at some point, yeah, Gareth Southgate is fantastic. Sorry, Phil Foden is a fantastic player, but I felt like in a lot of the games, it just wasn't working. Him and Bellingham together. So why not just go with Cole Palmer from the start? So yeah, maybe France and England are both suffering with their managers trying to be way too defensive.
Do you think though, on Deschamps, he's led France for a good decade now, is it? A good while.
Yeah.
And they've had similar success with it, the same as England. Obviously, they won the World Cup.
Yeah.
So, do you feel that England are sort of jumping the gun where French are sticking with their sort of like philosophy and idea with Deschamps? And England obviously just changing their approach now after a period of success in a way that we've never had before, like a consistent success.
Well, I don't think it's a binary choice that we're either doing one or the other. I feel like, okay, the way Gareth Southgate sets up teams with the idea of defence first is probably the way that tournament football needs to be played. But also, we probably need a manager now that's got the know-how to be able to, okay, we've set up this way, but to see this game out or to strongly finish this game in a certain way, take more risks. I think there are managers out there probably another step above him to do that.
Yeah, I definitely think, I know we haven't gone on to the final yet, but there was a stage in the final after we sat back and we got the goal where we could have attacked Spain. They looked slightly, not on the ropes, but they looked uncomfortable. And we just let them have the ball again after we equalised, sat back, got in a shape again of 6 at the back while defending, and let them grow back into the game. Where I think maybe a stronger coach, and I think Southgate should have learned onto his past sort of situations where we've sat back before and we haven't got success. That was the moment to say, come on, this is our time now. step up. And
Well, yeah, I'd agree. And George mentioning Tuchel, as a Chelsea fan, did you feel like Tuchel knew how to defend a game and when to attack in a game, or would you say he's more defensive or attacking?
He was more suffocating the other team, really. Like literally, he. What I liked about Tuchel when he first came to Chelsea, he said one thing was, and simple was, I like to be the team that no one wants to play against. You're just there constantly suffocating them.
Yeah,
And like we had games against City where we literally did that. Literally, just don't get me wrong. You've got to have the right personnel for Tuchel as well. Like you need to have some characters in that team where they will get into their other teams' heads. Like when we had Rudiger, and even like
Yeah.
Kante weren't a nightmare. He was a nightmare, and get into players' heads. Like, is he there behind me? He's always there.
yeah,
And for me, I don't think Tuchel will have a great time on the basis that Declan Rice is nowhere near to that caliber of what Kante is in midfield. To be a press.
yeah.
Um,
There is also an argument that if you play pressing football like that in tournaments, because the games are so quick and the turnaround so quick, that pressing football can sometimes be found out. So maybe he wouldn't be a great fit. I'm not sure.
I probably will disagree with you on that because the one thing I've learned is that we get further ahead in tournaments, but we did not press enough as an England team to actually like we scraped a lot of games by the end, like by the skin of our like literally nail biting.
Yeah,
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 not Slovenia, isn't it?
Yeah, and even going all the way to penalties.
Slovakia,
It's
sorry.
just there was no energy. There was no energy to just push. And the thing with Tuchel, he'll be on that sideline shouting and screaming at you until you actually do what you're told. And he's not afraid to sub you off.
Yeah, I think definitely Southgate, especially Kane. He was obviously unfit, or something was the issue with him. And he shouldn't have been starting all these games that he was playing. I think I texted you as well, George, saying about Kane. Like, if he was so unfit in the final, why is he dropping in and trying to play, on the ball? He should be on the last man trying to get a tap in or something, conserving energy.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Watkins made such a difference when he come on, and I think that press would have been a little bit more productive with Watkins there instead of Kane.
Yeah, well, come on, about 60 minutes, was it? 66 minutes in the final. But obviously done the business in the semi against Netherlands with a late winner. I think we were better when we went 1-0 down because we had more license to go forward because we had no choice.
Yeah.
Like in that game against the Netherlands.
I think that's the story of Southgate's career, though. If we were ahead, we literally thought, oh, we could sit back now.
Yeah.
Where obviously, like the games like against Slovenia or Slovakia, whichever ones they are, even Holland, we literally, as soon as if we were a goal behind, we would literally bombard them by going at them, and that was the problem. We kind of just, as soon as the goal difference was in our favour, we would go, oh, we'll slow down now. Which I think that mentality is so weak.
Yeah, and it's scary. It's scary to be a fan of a team that does that because you're just waiting to be broken down. I reckon if you go ahead, you're better off making personnel changes but keeping the press going. So maybe you add another CDM, but you keep the tempo going.
So I watched that final.
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
I was going to say, I completely agree about putting another midfield personnel in. But my issue is that it weren't just Kane that was unfit. You had other players like Saka. Saka has played every bloody game for Arsenal, and even this game, there was moments where he was. You could tell he's not fit.
Yeah.
And again, this is my issue. Is Phil Foden was shocking. I don't care what anyone says. He had one good half against Holland. Whoopty-doo.
BBC love him. Like Shearer and Mika Richards and Lineker, just after every game, were waxing lyrical about him. And I was like, are they watching a different player? Like, I know he's good in the Premier League, but I agree with you, George. I don't think he had a good tournament at all.
Phil Foden was 007.
And what does that mean again?
Zero goals, 0 assists, 7 fucking games. So in my opinion, he was one of the shittest players in the tournament. Because all he was doing was getting in the way of Bellingham, whoever else was a number 10, Kane. They were all getting in each other's way. I would have said this now. I would have changed the team straight away on the basis putting Bellingham deeper. And I probably would have rested Declan Rice for 1 or 2 of the games because he was getting. You could tell he was unfit. I would have played Bellingham and Mainu in midfield together. Then I would have dropped because of Foden went off to go and see the birth of his child, and he came on. He started again straight away coming back. I was
You
like,
probably missed like 3 days training there.
I was thinking, why? I was like, is this some sort of joke? Like, this is my issue. That don't get me wrong. Thank you, Southgate, for everything you've done for England. But stuff like that, when you got Foden was Player of the Year, but Cole Palmer, who's had more goals, more assists, people say penalties. At least he puts them in the back of the net, under some other players do.
I think Cole Palmer's impact in the games was amazing.
And I said this before. I've always said Foden for England has never been good.
No.
Hopefully
And
now
also,
with a better manager, it might be better.
Yeah. If you're like a sub as well, like a reserve player trying to get in the team, and Foden goes off to go miss 3 days training, for a pretty good reason. But if he's off for 3 days and comes back straight into the team, you must think, what have I got to do to get a start? He's missed 3 days training. He's not up to speed. I don't know how I'm going to be able to get in that team. It's just not going to work.
If I was Cole Palmer, I'd be like, so what is the point of me being there? The only thing that's a bonus now Southgate's going is that at least we've got Ben White coming that could get a game or 2 in.
Yeah, might be some new players, obviously, that weren't on Southgate's sort of favourite list that might get into Jack Grealish.
Yeah. And I think, like, for example, Rice was the player that covered the most distance in the Euros. He covered more, I think it was like 39 miles, something ridiculous, over the games he played in. And it wouldn't have hurt to have been able to rest him. I'm not saying he did anything wrong for me. I just feel like, imagine how much more impact he'd have if he was maybe a little bit fresher in some of the games.
You know what? I agree with you. I'll tell you what. The only one game I was absolutely disgusted with Declan Rice's performance was against Denmark. He was literally ran ragged in that midfield because he had no support.
Was that the game before Mainu was brought in?
Yes.
Well, the final, he had 1 forward pass in the whole game.
And he's he's £100 million player, yeah. Wow.
So you're gonna get through. Like, I'll just quickly say, well, apparently Ollie Watkins had a 0.06 xG for that semi-final game. He on. I think for the whole tournament he scored that goal. So yeah, that got us to the final, and then the final we just literally just let Spain just do what they want. Really, we didn't pressure them, hassle them at all.
So, by judging by what you saw in the Euro tournaments as a whole, does it give you any idea or any sort of feelings towards the domestic season coming up? Is there players that you think, I think he's going to shine this season, or certain clubs you think might do well because their players did well in this tournament? Anything that comes to mind?
Mainu.
Cole Palmer. He's going to... he's brilliant. But yeah, carry on. Sorry, George.
No, I think Mainu has shined for United this year. It'll be interesting because if you sign you're signing a Uruguayan player that I thought we were going to get last season, but he chose PSG and didn't get a game instead.
Ugarte.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Ugarte. He's a very solid midfielder, which would be. I think he's better than Amrabat as well.
Yeah, yeah. From what I can see about Ugarte, he does very well. It's maybe his distribution isn't the best, but he's a very energetic midfielder, which is what United need.
He'll allow Mainu to go forward.
Yes, and that's a positive because Mainu, I think he's just silky and he's so relaxed as well at the same time.
Oh, so composed. It's brilliant.
This is what's frustrating about England, isn't it? Is that there's some players that we've got that are super talented and there's a balance of them. We've got attacking players, we've got players who can build up, and we've got defensive players. Anyway, yeah, but back to this season, Mainu. Anyone else that comes to mind?
Well, I was thinking about. So I was just looking at the game from the final and saw Cucurella obviously playing the whole game and played the whole tournament for Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like thinking, well, he's a player that Gary Neville publicly sort of said, Spain would be in trouble if they got Cucurella playing the left back start of the tournament.
Yeah.
And he was one of the best players in the tournament.
Why has it not worked for him in the Prem?
Exactly.
It did towards the end of the season where he was playing the inverted CM role from left back, which Enzo Maresca actually plays that system.
Right.
It's similar to what Pep does, but instead of putting like John Stones, who went into midfield instead, both our fullbacks, Reece James and Cucurella, would be our two DMs, and then everyone else in midfield would join the attack.
Cucurella was a Brighton player originally, wasn't he? He's one of the
Yeah.
So he's obviously got talent because Brighton don't sign untalented players.
And we obviously saw something in him as well, which, to be fair, towards the end of the season, what I like about Cucurella, he'll go head first into a challenge for on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
He does, but sometimes he lacks that awareness. But clearly, it showed you when a bit of class like Cole Palmer comes on, he's not keeping track of Cole Palmer.
Yeah,
because of Saka and all
George
that.
And Cole Palmer loving. I'm here for it.
The Cole Palmer for me literally shut up a lot of people because he was by far better than Saka for the less minutes that he played.
Is that people, Ollie?
And Arsenal fans. Like, don't get me wrong, Saka's a great player. But don't ever insult Cole Palmer again. Because he just proved it.
I'm going to set up a fantasy football league for the group that we have, and obviously I open it to anyone that wants to join.
Actually, let me see.
Viewers.
Let me see if I actually have put Cole Palmer in mine.
I haven't set mine up yet, but surely, yeah, you're going to have Cole Palmer in yours.
Of course, I've actually got 3 Chelsea players in it already.
Of course you have, yes.
My old man's been messaging me doing prototypes for his next. He's going to take it serious this year.
Right, didn't take it serious last year, no.
Oh, he said that it's the first time he's let like the likes of yourself score more points than him.
Well, what about the other year? I beat him the other year.
I don't think you did you?
Yeah, I beat him
I
twice.
thought it was only. Oh, well, I'll have to let him
forgot
know.
that one, hasn't he?
Yeah, he normally does all right.
No, he's usually on the ball and he looks at the old XG and all that stuff.
He finished in the top. I think it was like 1,000 or 10,000 one year.
Big season coming up.
I forget halfway through.
I might have to change my team actually because I forgot that we got Man City first game.
You was doing quite well, Sean, actually last year, and you sort of dropped off it.
Yeah, I just thought I'd let the kids have a go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, is there any like sort of players or teams you're excited for then, Sean?
Well, that's so cliche, but obviously United. I think George is right about Mainu. I feel like we've had a lot of problems in the middle, and it's almost like a bit of relief. It's like, I don't have to worry about that. I wonder how Real Madrid are going to get on against, but I've got a feeling that Barcelona might come back into it this season.
They got Yamal and then they're after Williams.
Exactly.
And Hansi Flick's their manager as well now.
Mm.
He sounds like a German character from a Carry On film. handsy flick. But yeah, I feel like Barcelona might, because if you look at the players that Real Madrid have got, like Tchouaméni, I can never say his name right, Camavinga, Bellingham. Yeah, they are all great players on paper, but are they? Does it click? Does it work? Like, will it keep working? That's a stupid question because they did well last year. But
they got Carlo. That's the main man.
Remember, they ain't got Tony Cruz anymore.
Yes.
So you say that they clicked. No, they didn't. It was one player that probably clicked them all together.
Yes.
But
Thank you
Mudryk
for
is still
saving me
there
there,
as well.
George.
You're welcome, Shane. You're welcome.
But yeah, I think what you're saying is 100% correct. Tony Cruz, with him not being there, how will they do? I've just got a feeling Barcelona are going to do well.
Well, we have forgot they have just signed Mbappe, Real Madrid.
I think he's going to be an actual problem for them because they just signed Endrick as well.
Yeah, I think the problem at Madrid is the power struggle between the players. It seems that Bellingham's got some sort of ego going on, and I did hear reports about Bellingham and the England team sort of having sort of conflicts and stuff.
I think it's all bullshit.
Do you think? I can see it, to be honest.
I can't. I feel like that's the soap opera. If you look at characters in different teams over the years, and even teams you've probably played in, there are different. You're going to have the angry one, the silly one, the funny one. Like, there's different people within teams. That kind of makes teams work. Like Roy Keane's personality with someone like Dwight York, two different types of people completely, but it works. So this whole thing about personalities and players not liking this and players not liking that, I
get that.
I don't buy into this Bellingham bullshit. I think it's the press trying to pick on an English player or make something out of nothing.
Yeah. But there is obviously reports he got into that leadership group. I don't see sort of an 18-year-old Wayne Rooney joining United and joining the leadership group of Roy Keane, Gary Neville and Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes at that time, whoever it was, if they had a leadership group or what. I just don't see that.
Yeah, but it's different with England. Like Declan Rice, what is he, 26, 25?
Younger than that. I think he's 23.
And what, Bellingham's 20?
I'll be honest
21.
with you. You don't get many players like Bellingham who goes abroad, becomes a leader straight away at Dortmund for his mentality, and then goes over to Real Madrid and becomes one of the most influential players in that team as well, the Galacticos.
Yeah. He obviously is a high functioning professional.
So if players are complaining about his mentality, they shouldn't be in the team anyway because their mentality is already not aligned with the right mentality.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, George.
Because my opinion in that year, let's say if Phil Foden's like, I don't like Jude Bellingham because he's so far up and stuff, I'd be looking at him like, well, I'll look at him like you're surrounded by all them players in Man City, you dickhead. If it was like him, or if like Declan Rice and Saka didn't like it, I'd be like, that's why you ain't winning the league.
Yeah, like Thierry Henry did in an interview recently. He said Thierry Henry wasn't a nice guy to his teammates. Michael Jordan wasn't a nice guy to his teammates. First training session, Rio Ferdinand turns up at United. He miskicks a ball. Like, very first thing, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes, "How much did we pay for you?" Out loud. People like professional athletes who are successful, they don't have to be cuddly and warm, do they? Like, they're driven.
I'll tell you one that I remember a story about was Carragher and Gerrard were prime for that. So was John Terry and Lampard. But Carragher and Gerrard, they were very harsh on certain Liverpool players like Crouch to start off with.
Yeah.
And then Fernando Torres came and like they were like, oh whatever, he's just a kid from Spain.
Mm.
That first training day, they got their respect. I believe that they said that they gave respect to him after that one day because how good he was on the ball straight away. Everything he did in that first training. It was like Eden Hazard. John Terry and Lampard were harsh on him throughout the whole of training because he didn't try hard enough. But as soon as he came onto the pitch, after that one game in the first season, they said, "Do what you want."
Yeah. That's the thing. Professional athletes are going to drive each other on. They want they don't expect anything less than what they expect from themselves, because that's how they've got to the position where they're at. Like they in the United documentaries, they talk about how training in a week, there'd be more fights, it'd be harder, more physical than anything that had happened at the weekend, because they had to know and trust each other that they were going to be able to pull through. So Bellingham did an advert, and I don't know what, he did something else, and some players didn't like it. I just feel like, once again, it's lazy British journalism. They're not talking about systems. They're talking about personalities.
I think our journalists are one of our major kryptonite for England anyway.
Yeah.
100%.
And like, wait till 2026 when we're hosting it. Not 2026. When is it? Our next one?
2028, is it?
Oh yeah, 2028. We're hosting it, aren't we? Euros.
Yeah.
Us and Ireland. So wait till we see that, because our journalists are going to be absolutely straight away. Unfortunately, it'd be players like Mainu and Saka now be getting highlighted as the problem, like all the time, which is disgusting.
They're just waiting for it. And they don't want to. Go on, George.
No, sorry, Sean, you go ahead.
They don't want to talk about the football. Like Gary Neville says when he was at Valencia, he wasn't ready for the journalists to be asking questions about his system, his playing style, what his tactics were. Because he said in England, you don't get that. You get a journalist going, oh, it really clicked for him today. They'll never actually take the variables. They talk like emotional shit. Our journalists are wank. I know that's a lot of swear words. But if you're listening to this, and if you work for The Athletic, you're probably not shit. But if you work for a red top newspaper, you're shit.
I love it. That's the short for the week.
So,
you a fan of The Athletic then?
I do subscribe.
Subscribe. Fair play. Should we go on to transfers and clubs?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Sort of glossed over it earlier. Yeah, what's going on with Chelsea? A bit quiet, isn't it, George, for your club?
Is it?
You linked with anyone?
I was gonna say transfer wise, maybe we've gone down a bit, but drama wise, I think we shot through the roof after Enzo's song. Yeah,
so as our Chelsea sort of correspondent, tell me about the latest in and outs at Chelsea then.
In and outs, transfer wise, we've signed a Portuguese player from Basel, Renato Veiga, who is a utility player who could play midfield and left back.
Nice.
So that probably will suit our system a bit, where Enzo Maresca wants to put a left back to CM it whilst in attack.
So he's the Cucurella replacement.
No, I think he's the Chilwell replacement, because I'm hearing there's rumours about United want Chilwell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Goalkeeper wise, we're getting rid of our goalkeeper Petrovic apparently.
Okay. You've been a bit odd with goalkeepers last couple of years, haven't you?
Don't. Since checking Courtois, we've just gone, literally, expectations just dropped.
So Kepa in there.
Yeah, so Kepa's back.
The Brighton one.
Yeah, so Robert Sanchez. The fact is, I'd rather keep Petrovic than Sanchez, because Sanchez is, I think personally, he's wank. I don't trust him. I don't trust him in the back, like in defense, in between the posts for us one bit. We are linked with the Ukrainian goalkeeper Lunin from Real Madrid.
Okay.
So maybe that might happen. But yeah, we signed the Barcelona kid, but apparently he's already been asked to go out on loan. I don't know.
What do you think of your new kit?
It's a bit wavy, isn't it?
It's a bit. I don't know. It's different, isn't it?
It is different. It's okay, I guess. I probably won't buy it myself.
You can say you hate it.
I'm not going to say I hate it. It's not my type of shirt. I'm not saying it's shit. I might ask it for Christmas. I'm not
George.
going to go out of my way to buy it.
You sound like your missus has bought you something and she's asking if I'll go and wear it tonight when we go out. It's not my kind. I'm not saying it's shit, but
I did. Yeah, it was very an odd one. It's an odd kit.
Well, wait till you see our away and home kit, a third kit.
Even worse, is it?
I don't know. I hope it's better than what Arsenal's away kit is. The Lynx Africa one.
Got to see this. Is it their away kit this year?
Yeah, I think it is their away kit. It looks like Lynx, like as if you've got shower gel in it.
It does actually. The Adidas badge is green, Sean, and the Gunners badge is red.
amazing.
And then it's just black, so it just looks like Lynx Africa. It's got some lines as well.
Brilliant.
That's very good.
Any
Yeah.
more deals with
I think
Aston Villa?
Yeah.
It's like Betfair Exchange, trading up and down players with each other. Like, what's going on there?
Oh yeah, we sold Matson to them, didn't we?
Yeah.
And
keep your books on.
then we bought one of their players, Kellerman. I was like, who the hell's that?
Was it exact same price?
No, it was
Okay.
half. We bought him for like 20 mil.
All right, fair enough.
And I was thinking, cool, we signed Cole Palmer for 30 odd.
What a signing.
But
Can we
I've
just
heard
talk
as well.
about Cole Palmer and Kobe Mainoo forever?
I should do another podcast for that instead and have it on loop.
Oh dear.
Um,
Okay.
I think. Have you heard the new thing that Chelsea Loophole FC is doing again?
No.
So you obviously remember when I told you about the training ground that we sold off to
Cobham,
Blue
Cobham.
Co. So we sold the 2 hotels
Mhm.
to comply with financial fair play. Our training ground apparently we sold to the same company again.
Mhm.
And this one you're going to be like, what? Apparently we're looking at sending the females football team to them as well now.
Who is this other company? Bowley FC.
It's
Bowley
Blue Co.
Limited.
It's owed by Clear Lake Capital apparently.
I can see
Right.
the FA getting upset with that.
They apparently
Selling-
are getting upset, but again, they can't penalise us for it.
Yeah, but the idea of selling a whole team that's in a league, I can see that like the whole. Oh, you see the women's football teams expendable.
Yeah, but I think as well, it's just a way to balance the books.
Oh no, I get the idea why, and they obviously don't think the female team's expendable because they're selling it to a company that the owner owns. But I can imagine that causing some issues.
I think it would cause issues from other fans' perspective, but as a Chelsea fan, it'd probably think, well, obviously there's a reason why we're doing it.
Yeah,
And if
Chelsea
it's
fans don't care. They've been taking Russian war money for years, so.
Hey, Uncle, I will not have Uncle Roman's name in vain. Okay.
So what do you think Chelsea need then going forward this new season?
Better doctors than that.
Doctors and that.
One of the best signings for Arsenal was their doctor, lowered the injury rates.
But we definitely need to lower our injury rates. Like, to be fair, when you think about it, for Fana, Nkuku, Lavia, they're pretty much brand new signings, isn't they?
Yeah, because it barely played for you.
There you go.
Did Lavia play for you at all?
He played like 20 minutes and got injured for the rest of the
20
season.
minutes.
It's bad.
And that's the thing though. Maresca's got a history of managing a few of the players that we've got.
Mm.
Because obviously he was a Man City's youth coach at one point, so that was Palma and Latvia. So he knows all about them. I don't know. The first thing I would do if I was him is get rid of fucking Mudryk.
And you don't really like that guy, do you?
I just don't. I just see a guy that just can run and have no footballing brain.
Who's a better player, Mudryk or Anthony?
You know what? Oh, that's hard. Cool. We
Question
could
should be,
actually.
who do you
That's
hate
another.
more?
I hate Anthony more.
Okay.
I hate Anthony more for just the sheer fact of some of his antics on the pitch. Like, I could see brilliance from him. But you got me there as well. That's hard. Like, you know how we just said we should do a channel for just Palmer and Mainu? We could do another channel on how much we hate them two clowns as well.
Have your channel. Love it. All right, as you're discussing that,
Yeah.
Sean, obviously United have been busy, haven't we?
Yeah, and not only have we been busy, we've been busy early.
Yeah,
So
which is a rarity nowadays.
definitely, I think one of the first three signings we've made were the directors, Ashworth, Breda, and who was the other one? Oh God, Southampton guy.
Wilcox.
Yes. So they were done like pretty much since a month after Ineos arrived.
Yeah.
And then we, instead of doing something that we used to do, and we did it last season where we went after a player and we were chasing him in negotiations, and it was having a knock-on effect on all our other negotiations. Hence, we bought Anthony for 80 odd million when we could have had him for 30 2 weeks before. We've actually turned around because apparently our first initial target was Talibo, the defender, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So we went and got Yoro. By getting Yoro, it's actually given us some bargaining power with the likes of Bayern Munich and Everton, with the Jared Braithwaite or the De Ligt signing, because we can say that, oh, we've got a defender now. Here's what we'd offer for your player. We're not in a rush.
Yeah, because I think that they want what 80 million was it for Braithwaite?
Yeah,
I think
that's
ridiculous.
Whereas we've offered 43 for De Ligt, and I think they're after 50. So that's way more achievable.
Yeah.
But once again, the power's in our court, and we've never had that. We haven't had that for a long time. Xerxes, great signing, offers something different. Yeah, it's really positive. It's genuinely quite exciting. It's like we're on Football Manager, and we're preparing a team early how we want it instead of doing it the old-fashioned way and just waiting for deadline day and seeing which 40-year-old player we can get through the door.
Yeah, true. I hope. I definitely want De Ligt at United. Hopefully, we can get that for extra cover or just another centre back in.
Braithwaite was managed by Rude, wasn't he? And Rude's now our assistant manager. Another great signing. We've managed to get someone who was a manager of a Dutch team in their top flight league, finished second or third, I believe. We managed to get him to be one of our assistant managers. I think that's like,
who was linked with Burnley as well.
It's unheard. Well, it's unheard of to get someone in who's taken a step back to come into the club.
Yeah, and also we got Sancho back.
But
not sure how I feel about that one.
Well, there's no other option because with Sancho, you can either keep the stalemate going, and his value declines, and he doesn't move on, or you can get to a point where he's playing again. He's keeping some of his value, and other people can see that he plays. It either works out, or there's more likely he's going to be sold. There's no point keeping it stale.
It's obviously a sort of a thing that the directors above Ten Hag have said. We've got an asset here, sort it out.
Yeah.
We've spent a lot of money on him.
Him and Johnny Evans played yesterday. Johnny Evans is still there.
Johnny Evans, another year. We'll
signed a year, didn't he? Yeah, extension.
Amrabat as well, potentially coming back.
Look,
but you came out. They did. United apparently have said that they're not going to meet the valuation, though.
No.
But they're apparently working around that.
Yeah.
Look, once again, they've like with Mainu coming good, etc. they've got the power to turn around and say to Amrabat's club, this is what we'll pay, but you can't make us pay more than what we want. And fantastic, if we get Amrabat in at undervalue and tell him he's going to be a squad player, I don't see a problem with that, because I think I like what he does when he plays. I think he tries. What's something that some players haven't done over the years recently.
Yeah, and we've got obviously Greenwood out the door. We've put a significant sell-on percentage we get if he does get a big move after Marseille.
That's clever.
Which
Because
was, definitely.
He needed to go for what happened. And if the club say, well, it's a bit controversial saying it, if the club can make something from him, brilliant. But the main thing is that he's gone, because I don't think he had a career in English football.
No. See, I think we got 31 million euros for him and 50% sell-on clause.
It's brilliant for the old FFP.
Yeah, as he's a young player through the system. And also, we're linked with Agate, as we mentioned earlier. So, very busy for United at the moment.
Any other good signings across the Premier League that we've noticed?
I think the Calafiori signing, if Arsenal get him in, it will be a good one.
I think
for them.
I would say yes, but also that's something Arsenal probably did need, is a bit more depth into that sort of position. But what does that mean for someone like Gabriel in that case? Because he's the only person that looks like they get dropped out of that team.
True, but that generates competition, and that's what you need in a squad.
You need the depth, 100%. Don't know what else really about that. It's just I was quite shocked about it.
City have a bit of a weird one as well, aren't they?
I was about to say a really bad joke.
I want to hear it now.
Maybe playing for Arsenal this year will just be a bit out of reach for Gabriel. You won't get it because you're probably too young. Doesn't matter. Gabrielle was a singer. One of her songs was out of reach.
Oh God, Sean.
She wore a pirate patch on her eye. She was brilliant. She owned the 90s. Carry on, Dylan.
So City have obviously got Savinho, this winger.
Savio,
Kevin De Bruyne, yeah. Savio. He's got Savinho on his shirt.
Oh, on FIFA, he was called Savio.
Okay. That was 33 million potentially. And they might have Edison leaving and De Bruyne leaving, apparently. Which I'm surprised with Edison, to be honest.
I was, but wasn't about Edison. In the way that, okay, I could see why he had leave, and I don't think City would be hard done by because of the basis of Ortega's had a brilliant season with them.
Yeah. And obviously they've got Ortega. In reserve, Dani Olmo may have a 60 million release clause at Leipzig. It's apparently just expired.
Oh no, it's expired. It's just expired. He would have been perfect for City.
I think that 60 million price tag expiring could work in the signing club's favour. I think that he could probably go for less than 60 million. I know it sounds crazy, but these inflated prices tend to only sort of base themselves around English players, like 100 million for Declan Rice, for example.
Yeah.
I reckon that Dani Olmo, it could be just under 60. I can imagine the team picking him up for.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look what else other transfers there is. That's it for the moment. Seems obviously we lost Willy Cambiala to Villarreal.
Yeah.
We got a buyback clause, but yeah, I was surprised he left, but obviously he wanted first team football. But
And
yeah,
also,
we've got a buyback clause.
it's great for our FFP. And like, United have been told that they need to kind of look at what they're doing because the amount of signings they made over the last 10 years and the amount of managers they've fired, they did start racking up the balance on the FFP. So these players, like we got rid of Alvaro Fernandez, a left back. But one of the clauses in that we're actually doing really clever business by putting these buybacks in. So yeah, it's like a loan, but more profitable loan for the loanee club. So if that player actually kicks on and he's doing really well, yeah, we'll have him back and they get a fee for having him for however long. But if not, it's just bonuses for our FFP, especially when these players are coming out of our academy. So 0 on the books.
Yeah. Need to, obviously with the fines last year, FFP very important for the clubs. Everton got, was it 10 points in the end, Everton? Or 6? And then, George, you were saying about Leicester.
Yeah, I think Leicester. Obviously, Leicester made a bit of money though from us buying Dewsbury Hall from them.
Oh yeah, we didn't say about him. Forgot about
Yeah.
Dewsbury Hall coming in for you.
Yeah, no, he might be an interesting player to watch. Considering that he's dominantly left-footed as well, and insistent that we're playing, he might help out. Player that like I saw that we had a player linked to leave, which I would have got really annoyed with, and that was Chuck Womenka. I think he'd thrive under this new formation that we're going to be the new team. Well, new manager we've got, but I have no idea how we're playing this season. Literally, with the players that we've got, we're so overcrowded. Just another headache for a manager. I don't know. I don't even think we're going to give this manager a chance.
Some of the best transfers are players out of clubs. Now, have you got rid of how many players have you been able to get rid of in this season and transfer period so far?
I can't even say what we got rid of. Matson. I actually can't think of anyone else that we got rid of.
Yeah, because I remember at one stage your training ground was it your changing facilities was full, wasn't it? Of lockers or something? I can't remember.
Yeah. What happened was Thiago Silva even said that it was to the point where they had to build an extension.
Yeah.
Bowley's come in, he's treating Chelsea like an NFL team. Doesn't realise that it's just one team that plays throughout a game, not two.
But yeah, now that we're in the Europa Conference League, courtesy of United, it might work in our favour just to play a lot of them players for that.
Okay, I've got a list here of your arrivals. Do you want me to read them out?
Go on, tell me who they are.
I don't know if that's correct. So your departures: Silva's left, Hakim Ziyech.
Yep.
Mari Hutchinson's gone to Ipswich for 23 million.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Lewis Hall's gone to Newcastle for 33 million, and Ian Matson, 45 million euros. And then your incomings: Dewsbury Hall, Murray Kellyman. Is that right?
Yep.
Renato Viega.
Yep, that's the one from Basel.
Mark Gui.
Yep, that's the young
from Barca.
I like that. Mark Gui. Yeah.
Mark Gui, yeah. But not the Mark Gui. Tosin Adrabayo.
Yeah, he was the Fulham centre back.
Yeah. Lukaku's back.
Yeah, but he's going now soon.
Okay.
Apparently we're in talks with Napoli now because Napoli are about to sell Osimhen to
Andre
PSG.
Santos has come back from his loan.
Yeah, he's going back onto loan now.
Okay, the old Chelsea development structure.
Yeah, he's going to
Send people on
Strasbourg.
loan.
We're just sending him out to Strasbourg. Yeah, but we can only loan a certain amount now. Certain amount. So Andre Santos is going out on loan. The one person I would actually say keep an eye on, if he ain't gone back out on loan, is Angelo, a Brazilian winger that we've got. He was awarded a best player at Strasbourg.
Yep, 19 years old.
Yeah, I think he won Young Player of the Month numerous amount of times in the French league. He's a player to might keep an eye on, but that depends on stupid players like Mudryk in there if they're even gonna. Yeah, but even then, I would actually say there's a few players. I would like to say keep an eye on us, but I'm not. I'd just rather sit back and see how well we do.
According to this website, you have a squad of 42 at the moment, so that might need to be trimmed down.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, but I'm
Mudryk is
sure
up.
we can sort of go through all the transfers and what clubs need in a future episode just before the Premier League starts. But yeah, I'll leave this one here, guys, and I'll see you all next time.
Yep, see you in a bit.
Bye.